3-1, I can tell you. Matisse Tell has just scored the penalty, so Spurs look like they've beaten Southampton. They think it's all over, and it looks like it is now for the Saints. This is how it leaves us standing at the top, though. Liverpool still with an 11-point advantage over Arsenal, who will rue letting Everton take a point in that game yesterday. That might have made it very tasty, but still there is comfort in an 11-point lead. 10 points now needed. Oh, it's still 11 points, isn't it? Needed to be crowned champions. Right at the bottom, so in a matter of seconds, Southampton will be confirmed as dropping down to the Championship. Spurs climbing to 13th position, and as you saw previously, Fulham climbing still with a shout of European football. Fulham themselves next season.
Virgil, a missed opportunity to go 14 points clear at the top of the Premier League table today. Where did Liverpool fall short, would you say?
Obviously a very poor first half in terms of the goals we conceded. I think it was so unnecessary in the end. And then obviously you're fighting a very tough battle, but a very, very poor first half as a collective. And like I said, then we try everything in the second half. But if you ship 3 goals in the first half, then it's a very difficult task.
What would you put that poor first half down to? Did Fulham take you by surprise at all?
No surprise at all. I think I've mentioned it before. It's always a tough place to come, and I think the intensity that they can bring, obviously they showed, and obviously it was a great goal from us to get 1-0 up. I think obviously then it's individual moments that decided and they can score, and obviously that's the disappointing part of today, a lot.
Have a look at them. This after a really good start for Liverpool in the game, which Alexis McAllister got them up and flying, Micah.
Yeah, it was brilliant. You know, Liverpool like to press, and Fulham tried to play out. I mean, very strong there for Konate, and then it was about getting the second balls. But I just love the touch here from McAllister, the way he gets it across the midfield there, and then he strikes it so pure. I think you can see on this angle here with the touches, just gets it to the side of him so he could set up the shot, steadies himself, and it's a wonderful finish.
But what about the response from Fulham, Izzy?
Yeah, excellent response. I think we knew that they could cause problems in the wide area. They have all season. Sessegnon starts his run, running on the inside, allowing Pereira to exploit on the second phase, and then Sessegnon just reacts quickly. Micah highlighted at half-time brilliantly, the positioning of Konate. Can he deal with it on that first attempt? But nonetheless, that finish from Sessegnon, wonderful.
And it seemed to shake Liverpool.
Yeah, it went from bad to worse from the defensively. So looking at Robertson, we're looking at experienced players making bad decisions, and then they're getting a chance to get the recovery, and they don't quite get in the right position. They don't close people down, and ironically, then it comes off shot and target. And but the damage is done the first half for Liverpool. The defending from Liverpool nowhere near good enough.
But the best to last. Look at this for a touch as it comes back in here on the second phase. Just look at this from Muniz on Van Dijk, get off, and can he finish? Gets a little bit of luck going for the goalkeeper's left, but you see better on this angle, he just nudges him there, and then the touch and technique to get it round, and then the composure to finish. Really well played from Fulham. And we expected that because Fulham are a good side. You see it there? Talk us through that, Izzy.
Me?
Yes!
No, I have to say, this for Fulham after a tough week, the Arsenal game and the cup defeat must have really set them back. So this showed great characters to come back from being a goal down. Showed great qualities.
And character to get through the second half as well, because Liverpool had just 2 shots in the first half. They had 12 in the second, and when Luis Diaz edged one back, they could have been forgiven for crumbling and going under there, is he?
Absolutely. Like Micah said, damage was done in the first half, but this is all about Conor Bradley. The positioning inside as a fullback, but the pass into Diaz is brilliant. And then Diaz with a snapshot finish, and then this, obviously, Elliott. There's probably not many other players you'd want in the league, maybe bar Salah. In these moments, Elliott catches it really well, shapes it, beautiful angle on the ball, but it just hits the underside of the bar. But it wasn't Liverpool's day.
Matter of inches, Harvey Elliott, for coming back to haunt Fulham. But 3-2 it finished. So 11 points still their lead, and still a maximum of 11 points for Liverpool to claim the title. Let me just also highlight Fulham there in 8th place. Only 3 points from Manchester City in 5th spot, which, as we all keep saying, should be enough for Champions League football next season. So a lot on as well for City when they face Manchester United here on.
Yeah, Paul, we've talked before the game about the incredibly high standards this season, but actually when you look at that graphic, the Champions League, the Cup final and today, they've lost 3 of the last 4 games.
Yeah, and I think he has to look at himself. Like, I didn't really blame himself, but I think he's shown a little bit of arrogance of late. It's almost as if you're not allowed to touch me. And he's been caught out for the goal. So I think Munoz, whichever one it was.
Muniz, yeah.
Muniz, sorry, but he absolutely bullied him today.
It's not a situation where a team's done enough to stay up and they can cruise the rest of the season. They've really got to set their standards high. Everybody knows that Liverpool are going to strengthen their squad. So everyone needs to be looking over their shoulders in that team. Arne Slot's there to stay. He's going to be looking at everyone, see how they react, see how they behave. And they want to win this properly. They want to win the title properly and get over the line as deserved winners rather than everyone. There's a potential for a narrative that everyone else was just pretty poor and that's why they won it.
When you look at those next two games, West Ham and Leicester, you would expect them to win that. But after that, could it be prolonged? You said before the kick-off they want it done as soon as possible.
Yeah, it could be prolonged, couldn't it? You'd expect them to beat them two teams. West Ham probably be the harder one out of the two. You just needed someone a bit closer to them. You know, Arsenal have really...
Will they be kicking themselves off?
Yeah, they have to be, because this is a real opportunity for Arsenal. I think, obviously, with City not being in the... having the quality you'd have expected at the start of the year in the title race. So if Arsenal went a little bit closer, it could have got a little bit shaky for Liverpool, but it still could. If Arsenal win the games, you have to think Arsenal aren't going to win all the games, especially with them two Real Madrid games coming up. But Liverpool they're going to limp over the line, I think. I think looking at that today, that performance, as I said, I sensed a little bit of arrogance about them, as if, you shouldn't be able to lay a finger on us today. You shouldn't be able to beat us, and I think they've shown that in the last few weeks. A little bit of sloppiness creeping on. I think it comes from the captain. I think he needs to really make sure that there's a proper determination about him now to try and get him over the line as soon as possible.